Welcome to TJ's podcast.
Hi. So great to have you. I'm testing my earbuds to see if they're both working. And they are.
Why would they not be working?
Well, because I got some earbuds not long ago that I use in my personal life, which I'll thank you to stay out of, mister. And all of a sudden one day the right one stopped working. I mean, they're not even 3 months old, and the right one stopped working. And I looked it up, and people said that it's just, that's what happens when it gets so dirty and nasty. It blocks the sound of it. And that can't be it. My ears aren't that dirty. My ears are wet. They're not dirty.
Wet ears.
So, and they weren't, I mean, I was bargain shopping for them, but that's usually a good brand because I have some wireless speakers, Bluetooth speakers that are that brand, and they've always been really good. But the earbuds, it's no good.
My corded Bose earbuds, I went through 3 pairs of them.
Yeah.
I loved them. Best earbuds I've ever had, but all 3 of them just died. And they lasted, I don't know, 2 years apiece.
Yeah.
And I loved them, but yeah, they all died.
My Bose Bluetooth earbuds are the best ones I've ever had. Because even when everybody was all about monsters, you know, the monster headphones, the Dr. Dre's monsters or Beats, and the monsters were Will.i.am, right?
I forget. I remember
think.
monsters and I remember Beats.
But everybody was about the Beats.
Yeah.
Big old ass headphones.
Yeah.
And I would say, and I knew I sounded like an old man when I said it, but I didn't care, that the sound of those Beats nowhere close to being as good as the sound of Bose. Nothing is.
I don't think so. I think it's the best.
Yeah. And so I had some Bose, like the first generation Bluetooth earbuds without the cord, and they lasted me forever. And then when it got time for me to get some new ones, when those wore out, I was balling on a budget at that point, and so I got some JBL Flex is what they're called. And that's the right one's out.
Really?
So the hell that is my life.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the Beats were always too bass heavy, and it made sense. It's Dr. Dre, built for listening to like hip hop music, and
But the monsters sounded better than the Beats to me.
they did.
Yeah. But Bose better than, I mean, that's the premium sound.
Absolutely.
Bose. People like that Sonos system though.
My brother's got one.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere. He's got one in the living room, one outside by the pool. I don't know. He's got a whole setup out there.
Yeah. My friend Mark has them in every room. He has lives in the mountains part-time and at the beach part-time. And then he's got another little condo that's close to his work in Newbern.
Yeah.
And every room has one of those Sonos speakers in it, and he barely watches TV.
Yeah.
And so, like when we're staying with him, I'm in the bathroom trying to get dressed, take a shower and all that. And he's always got music going, but I want to listen to my political talk shows while I'm in there doing stuff. So I didn't realize that if you hit stop or pause on the individual speaker, it will, I don't know whether it cuts it in the rest of the house or what, but it only stayed off for a little bit. It was almost like he's turning it back on.
I turned it on.
Yeah.
One thing about, you always know if somebody has a Sonos system in their house because they will tell you they have a Sonos system. My brother is like, that's all he wants to ever talk about is his Sonos.
Yeah, people love them.
They do.
Or as some of my Southern brethren and sisters would say, people loves them. People loves those things.
They do. And it's not cheap. It's expensive to do the whole system throughout the house.
Yeah. But it's not overly priced for the quality of it, I would think. I bet it's cheaper than having Bose all through your house.
Probably. And doing the in-ceiling stuff.
Yeah.
And having all that stuff wired throughout.
Mm-hmm. But you got speakers sitting everywhere in the house.
You do have speakers.
You wouldn't like that because you're a minimalist.
Yeah. Maybe not. I forget who it was. Maybe they were on the show. It was a guy that installs speaker systems in people's houses. He goes, like, every call I go on when I'm putting speakers in people's houses, everybody wants speakers in the dining room. And I always have to say, like, think about when you're eating dinner in a dining room. You probably don't want speakers, music. Like, you're not going to want a lot of music in the dining room when you're trying to have a formal dinner. Mm-hmm. But everybody's like, I want them in every room.
We don't even have a dining room in our house.
They're going away.
Yeah, the floor plan called for one, but we had them change it, and they expanded one little area in the kitchen to make it a big appliance pantry, and then the other half of what would have been the dining room is Jody's office.
Yeah, Jody in her office doing
so adorable, so adorable.
It's the cutest. Jody Trump.
Yeah. So her nosy ass sits right there in front of the window of the front of the house and has a glass storm door on the, so that door is always open. And she's in, whatever drives by, she's,
keeping an eye on things. Neighborhood watch.
Running the deer out of the front yard.
Sure.
Everything.
She got a computer at her desk?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just her laptop, her, what you call it? What do you call these?
Laptops.
Yeah.
MacBooks.
MacBooks.
Yeah. What else is on that
Mac
desk?
and cheese book.
Does she have a pen cup?
Yeah, and because she does all of our bills and all of that kind of stuff, and then she also does work for Adam, in the company, and she has a space heater underneath it that runs even in a heat wave such as we're having now. It's always on if she's sitting at that desk.
Yeah, I know she does work for Adam because yesterday we have a standing appointment at 10:30 on Wednesdays. And he emailed me on Tuesday and said, "Hey, heads up, I can't do our 10:30 tomorrow. I'm going to be on a call with Jody." I was like, "How is Jody affecting my life on a Wednesday?" But he loves her.
I know, but what?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. He told me, but I don't even recall.
Because they have a standing time as well, I think.
Maybe they do.
I'm
it
not
got
sure.
moved into my time, which is fine. I don't care. I'm not looking for him. But he said I need to get on a call with Jody at this time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Sure, it's important.
Yeah.
No problem.
She's in her boardroom.
Yeah. Well, let me sit down at my desk. Does she take a lot of pride in the office? She likes having her space. Yeah.
And it's got a couple of those. What is it called? Sewing Down South pillows from the Southern Charm guy. What's his name? Craig. Yeah, she's got several of those pillows and it's all themed. It's got giraffes, paintings of giraffes on the wall.
It's very clear. It's a woman's office.
Oh yeah. If nothing else, because it's got a space heater going all the time.
True.
That's how you know.
It's a big indicator.
Yeah.
Does she have a chair sitting across from the desk?
No.
So she can't take meetings in there?
No. She did in our old house. She had that. And it was much smaller than her office chair because in our old house, it was a very, handsome office with floor to ceiling shelves and cabinets and things and like a rich wood and all of that because it was made for like that type of office. So that was my office in the beginning.
Power office.
Yeah. And so I had a really nice high back leather chair and all that. Then she took it over. And then the chair that would sit across from that giant desk, we went to the Furniture Mart to get that desk and, because Hickory, North Carolina and Thomasville and all of that is not far from us. So you can get good prices on things sometimes. And so then she put the two chairs on the other side of the desk. So if I had to go in and talk to her about something, I would sit on the other side of the desk in a much, much smaller chair. So she was like way up here and then looking down at me sitting on the other side of the desk. I think
that's how they tell you to do it. You're supposed to have the person sitting across from the desk be slightly uncomfortable and let them know you're the one in power. You're behind the desk in the taller chair. That's so funny though that it was once your office, and then she's like, I'm just going to take this over because you probably weren't using it anyway.
Yeah, I barely used it, and she needed all that, those cabinets and everything for paperwork and bills, things like that.
Did you have to knock when you walked in to not scare her or anything? Or just...
No.
Yoo-hoo.
But I always know when she's in her office now, as soon as I walk in the house or, start to come downstairs, because I hear that heater going. And I won't even go in there and talk, because it's set up where I can stand away from it and look around a corner and make eye contact with her, and that's as close as I get because it's too hot.
She has it going all year round, pretty much?
If she's sitting in there, and even if she's not cold, I think it's just a psychological thing now where if she's there, it has to be turned on.
And it's blowing on her feet?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's insane. I don't get it. But that's what makes her her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our little executive.
I wonder how funny it would be if when she's not there one day, I just hid that heater somewhere and she went in, it wasn't there.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah. She'd probably love that. Think it's hilarious.
She would love it.
Because you know how she is about people taking her things anyway?
Yeah.
Borrowing them.
Yeah. People would love an office tour that she does. Hey, y'all, welcome to my office. This is my desk. This is my chair. This is my giraffes. I named this one Bryson. Just like a little tour of the office. I would want to see that content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's little, though. Like I said, it's half the size of what a dining room would be.
Yeah.
I think people would like to see the big pantry more where we keep our appliances and stuff.
Yeah.
So I maybe could do both. But I don't want people up in my house.
I get it. I don't either.
All up in my business. Although they've seen my kitchen a lot from cooking videos and stuff.
Yeah, you've showed that.
Mm-hmm. And then one time I put the camera down my pants in the kitchen. That was fun. That got a lot of comments. All right, we got some crazy, stupid celebrity stuff to cover today, and I think I need to clear up something with Riggins' opinion of something that I am into. Because he says that I'm like Ariana Grande. So we'll get into that coming up next.
TJ's Podcast.
We're here with our friend Richard Toccato from the Richard Toccato Companies. And, Richard, people have credit card bills, and they need to use that equity, don't they?
That's right. Use the equity in your home, restructure your debt, save yourself a bunch of money. And it's easy. We've got the instant equity. It's simple. They make you an offer. You can close in 4 days, get your money that quick. Ace, you've done it.
Yeah, I've done it. It'll change your life in virtually no time. Starts with a free 5-minute phone call, 704-800-4719, or online at homewithrichard.com. The Richard Toccato Company.
Richard Toccato Companies, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS number 38652.
They say there are only two things certain in life: sweet deals at Sweet Dreams and taxes.
And only one of those is certain this month.
Which one?
The sweet deals at Sweet Dreams.
What about the taxes?
No sales tax the entire month of April at Sweet Dreams.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And don't call me Shirley.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, and pay no sales tax during the month of April. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Back to TJ's Podcast.
So I saw this clip, and then on the internet, so I saw the clip, and as soon as I saw it, I knew that people were going to connect me to this and act like that I'm the same way, that I have this in common with the celebrity Ariana Grande. She was on some sort of, was it a podcast or is it a TV talk show or something?
It's a podcast.
Okay, and she was telling them how into serial killers, knowing about serial killers and learning about them and all that stuff that she is, which a lot of people are. I mean, that's a subject that, that started the crime documentary shows. I mean, they were all about serial killers to begin with, and then it just has exploded into now so many different real crime documentaries. But she said that if she could have dinner with anybody, dead or alive or whatever it is, it would be Jeffrey Dahmer. Now, that's a different area of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that you may want to sit down and figure out why his mind works the way it does and hear some of the stories and that sort of thing. But you don't have to get that directly from the source. You could get that from, say you want to have dinner with his doctor or, some of that. That's the difference. I find serial killers and stories about them to be interesting, but I don't want to be around any of them.
Right.
I would never want to sit in a room with a serial killer, no matter how interesting their story is. That's just dumb.
Yeah. And usually when you ask somebody, like, who's the one person dead or alive that you'd love to have dinner with? And it's usually like Jesus or my grandfather. You don't often hear, like, a horrible person. Nobody says, like, Hitler or Jeffrey Dahmer.
Well, who would it be for you? Like a celebrity or historic figure, not Jesus or your grandparents or anything.
John Adams would be incredible.
Yeah.
Like any of the founding fathers, those guys would be probably incredible to have dinner with. I don't know. I haven't thought about it a whole lot, but maybe Jimmy Buffett. I was
that'd be a good one.
I was going to meet him before. I didn't know he was going to die, but that would be amazing.
How rude of him though to not tell you.
I know. It's like,
How about a little heads up, Mr. Margaritaville?
Yeah, I think he'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Who would you do it?
Rush Limbaugh.
Oh yeah.
Because I think he would be a good host.
Yeah.
Because I heard so many stories that he would tell about having people over to his house to watch, ball games and things like that. And a lot of people say, well, you wouldn't want to sit down and have dinner with President Reagan. And I think that Rush Limbaugh would be more of just hanging out with a guy. With President Reagan, I would have to constantly be, yes, sir, Mr. President, and feel like, and it wouldn't be like I'm doing something I don't think I should do. That's the way I should be around, pretty much any conservative president, not necessarily a Republican president, because some of them are shitty, but a conservative one that was really smart and good for the world. It'd be the difference in you having dinner with Jimmy Buffett and is it Pope Benedict you like the best, or Pope John Paul II? Yeah, good. So the same way, if you had dinner with Pope John Paul II, you'd be more formal and on your best behavior and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas you're hanging out with Jimmy Buffett, you can relax, have some beers, whatever.
Sure. That was my Pope.
Yeah. He was mine too. Even though I'm not Catholic, he was my Pope. He was part of the trio that saved the world.
Highly influential, very smart. We used to pray for the Pope every day.
Yeah. Do you know who the trio is? The other one in the trio?
Yeah, it's the Iron Lady.
Yeah.
Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, Lady Thatcher. Yeah. The Pope John Paul II, Ronald Reagan, Lady Thatcher. Saved the world by ending the Cold War.
She might be a good dinner. I heard she was a good
she's
cook.
funny. Yeah, she's funny. But still, you still got to be all uptight.
Maybe.
So, I wouldn't want to sit even in a room with a serial, because I mean, they're still disgusting.
Yeah.
Heinous people. Wouldn't want to be.
You don't want to share a meal like
No.
Just like you wouldn't want to go play putt-putt with them.
No.
It's like you can read a book about Jeffrey Dahmer and learn what you want to find out. But having dinner with him,
It's almost
a stupid
like
thing to say.
the way you and I look at the Grand Canyon. It is enormous and it is incredible, amazing, all of that stuff. But it's not necessary to appreciate all of that in person. It's a little bit of an inconvenience, and it's just not worth it.
Because what they never show you when you're looking at pictures of the Grand Canyon, if they just spun that camera around the other way, you see what the actual experience of visiting the Grand Canyon like. Fat, sweaty, disgusting tourists from every corner of the globe. This is not a Southern or Northwestern thing. They're from everywhere, but everybody's fat, gross, rude. They're ugly.
Packed on a bus that goes from one part of it to the other, and the bus has so many people on it that you can see that it's almost dragging the ground. The bottom of the bus is almost dragging the ground, and people are sweaty and nasty.
It's just repulsive.
Yeah.
And the bathrooms are right there with picnic tables and gift shops. It's just trash. And then,
as long as you're looking at, you're right. As long as you're looking out that one way, it's beautiful, amazing, and all that. But when you turn around to go back to your car,
it's just revolting.
Or if you want to get something from the snatch bar.
Yeah.
Did y'all, when you were there with that group, did y'all eat anything while you were there? Did y'all go to the snatch bar?
There's that one. Is that what it's called?
No, that's what I say. It's a snack bar.
Snack bar.
Snatch
bar.
bar.
There's not a whole lot of concessions, but
no,
I
it's
think
just that one. You walk up and get
place,
burgers and stuff.
Yeah, we did not eat there. I ate at the Wendy's that's right outside the Grand Canyon. I mean, it's like such a joke, but a little underwhelming. But I'd rather spin that camera around for once and show what it actually is like visiting it. It's so gross.
It's almost worth going there to do that.
Yeah.
So you can show it to the world.
It's far more fascinating over there. A lot of fat tank top people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's like if you took probably half of the people on a Saturday night at the county fair and put them on a bus together and then got up in the middle of them.
Yeah. Without all the great snacks and rides. Just a big ditch.
So anyway, everybody knows Ariana Grande is crazy. Yeah. And we have more information on the Billy Ray Fire Rose saga. This whole story is about how it says Miley's still sticking with her mom, but she knew that this relationship wasn't going to last with Fire Rose and Billy Ray. And I mean, okay, well, I don't have to be his daughter to know that. We all knew that. But I didn't know that he met Fire Rose on the set of Hannah Montana.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
She was an actress or a background?
I'm not sure. It just said they met on Hannah Montana. And so, how old is Miley?
28, maybe close to 30.
Yeah, and Fire Rose is 35 or 36. So, maybe she wouldn't have been playing one of Miley's friends.
31.
Miley's 31?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe she was. And then Billy Ray.
I like your friend.
But it says that they're trying to rekindle their relationship, Miley and Billy Ray.
He's definitely trying to. I don't know that she's that thrilled about it.
But what did he do to Tish? Because that's what the whole thing was about. Miley still not speaking to him because of the way that he did Tish, and that some of the kids took his side and some took her side.
I don't know. It seems like most of the kids are on Tish's side. So I don't know what led to their divorce. But in the recent years, Miley has made a couple comments about Billy Ray's ego. And she does it in a way that's like, she goes, I'm a lot like my dad in that we are very ego-driven and things like that. And I was like, that came out of nowhere. But I have not.
But did he cheat on her or something?
I don't know. They were married forever. They were married a long time.
But this source that's supposedly close to Miley said that she was upset because it was almost like that the person was alluding to the fact that Billy Ray and Fire Rose had wanted each other for a long time, like since the Hannah Montana or whatever, which I don't know. How much stock do you put into somebody who's going around and talking to tabloids, as someone close to the family?
Exactly. Somebody that's really close to Billy Ray and Fire Rose, you probably wouldn't want to have over for dinner.
Yeah. Or if they're really close, would not be out telling their business. Also, like if somebody were, tabloids were following, wanting to get information about you, there's no way I would go sit down with them and say, well, Riggins feels like da-da-da-da-da-da. So that's why I don't know whether to believe any of these things or not. It's this stupid celebrity stuff.
Sometimes there are checks attached to the story.
Yeah.
So, maybe Billy Ray's gardener or former nanny, house dog sitter could be convinced for $1,000.
Yeah, if somebody gave me, $100, I'd tell them all your business.
Yeah, sure.
I'd say just keep my name out of it.
Yeah. It's an anonymous source. Yeah, I'll be an anonymous source. Absolutely.
Okay, so we continue to have a good thought for Billy Ray and Fire Rose.
You want the best for him.
Yeah. And then didn't he come out and say, she's accusing me of verbal abuse and all this stuff? She did that to me.
Yeah.
She abused me.
The truth is the exact opposite of what you've heard, Jerry. I hope he represents himself. I hope either one of them. That'll be a show.
Yeah, that's what's called in the legal world sandbagging. Oh, no, wait a minute. What's it called? Well, I'll figure out what it's called after a short recess.
It's amazing.
All right, so audio from around the social medias coming up next.
More of TJ's podcast is coming up.
Our friend Richard Toccato from the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and we're talking about home improvement. That doesn't just mean, like, my wife thinks our home would improve if I left it. That's not what that means, is it?
Yeah, for Jody, that would probably help her out. But for everybody else, we need a sun deck or they want a backyard kitchen. It's an easy phone call to 704-800-4719 or log on to homewithrichard.com.
Now, you've got the money in your home. Let Richard find it. HomeWithRichard.com. It's the Richard Toccato Companies.
Richard Toccato Companies, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS number 38652.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Welcome back, world, to TJ's podcast.
There are things that are just ridiculous that go onto the TikToks and Instagrams of the world. And when did we as a society, Riggins, become so gullible? I know I'm not gullible, but I mean, when did society in America become so gullible? Because if somebody puts something weird on social media, then people will just go do it, no matter how weird it is. Just like today, the big story around is that's gone viral is the what do they call it? Rice-impic, where instead of Ozempic, you drink rice. I mean, you eat rice in water and lime juice and something, and it gives you the same benefits as Ozempic does for losing weight. And people are actually taking heed to that and doing it. But this could be one of the dumbest ones that I've seen. So Riggins sends this video to me, and I'm watching it this morning, and I almost got back in the bed.
It's not worth it today.
Oh,
I don't want to live in this world.
so it's a young woman, and she has a baby, and of course the video's done in her car because it would, just absolutely not count if she's not in her car doing it. And she goes into the store because she's heard that whipped cream makes a good, what is she calling it?
Primer?
Primer, for the makeup. So here's the audio of it. And if we need to explain more about what the video looked like, we will.
I've been seeing so many people put whipped cream on their face and they're saying it's such a good primer. So we're at the store and we're gonna go get some and then try it. So let's go.
It's pushing the baby through the store in the grocery cart. Got whipped cream.
Okay, I just got it. Let's try.
Sprays it on her forehead.
It does smell really good. It's definitely sticky, but I think that's why it's a good primer. Anyway, go try it.
So she takes whipped cream in the can, sprays a line across her forehead, then rubs it all over her face, and nothing else. I mean, it doesn't show her putting any makeup over it.
No, just
doesn't go, it's definitely sticky. I guess that's what makes it a good primer. So she's not really proving anything other than something that everybody knows is that whipped cream is sticky.
Yeah, and you've covered your face in it.
Yeah.
You didn't show the end makeup look, which is, I'm assuming, why you use primer before you put on your makeup. Yeah, so you just basically covered your face in whipped cream and said it was sticky. And you did it in the hot car. It was 97 degrees yesterday. I mean, I don't know. It's like when you're a kid and you tell your friend, like, oh, yeah, you put deodorant in your hair. It'll make your hair look good. They do it, and they rub the stick in their hair. It's like it's the adult version of that. They go, maybe this person knows more about this than I do. So I'll give it a shot. And that's how these things get started.
The way I would look at it is, even if it is a good primer for your makeup, it's whipped cream. I'd go, I don't care. I don't want to put whipped cream all over my face. Yeah. It's sticky and gross. Can you imagine flies?
Oh my gosh.
Being drawn to her face with whipped cream all over it?
Yeah. I mean, it's like if somebody said, if you rub diarrhea in your hair, it's going to make it grow longer. Are you going to do it? Hopefully not. It's so stupid.
But if you put on the tops, just the shirt that goes with scrubs, and then hang a stethoscope around your neck, you could go on there and say, put diarrhea in your hair, and people would do it. You're not saying you're a doctor, but just that's what you got on in the video.
Yeah. Rice, water, and lime juice, the same thing as Ozempic. not
without the expense and the shot.
It's not going to help you lose weight. It's the same thing. So much that we're calling it rice Zempic. I mean,
the exact same active ingredients.
I just don't know.
That's another thing about all of these herbal healing things, Yeah. And then, but people will say, because you go, well, wait. If that were the thing, doctors would be saying, go out into the jungle and crush up this type of leaf and smoke it.
Yeah.
And then you'll be healthy for the rest of your life. It'll keep you healthy. And then when you say stuff like that, and then the other person that believes in it will go, they've been doing it for thousands of years. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, well, because the doctors can't make money off of it. Are you kidding me? If a doctor discovered that you could go out and get a certain leaf that grows all over the United States and eat it, and it would keep you healthy, you know how much money that doctor would make?
Yeah, we'd have a lot of trillionaire doctors.
They just send somebody out to go pick it every day, and before you leave the office, here you go. That'll be $1,000. I mean,
it's crazy. But now it's like the thing is that they don't care. People don't care if anything is real or not.
I know. Yeah.
It's like when you watch those couples that prank each other and it's so clearly staged. The reactions are not that, oh my gosh, this is fake, and here's why you can tell it's fake. It's they love it or they didn't love it. But
you know what I blame for that?
Huh.
I blame that stupid radio skit called War of the Roses.
That's another one. People
because those things are so obviously fake, and you can't call a person and put them on the radio without their permission. So the gist of it is that you get somebody on the phone who wants to test their significant other, and so they have the DJs call and pretend to be from a flower shop, and you've won a dozen roses. Who would you like to send them to? And if you say you send them to your significant other, you're great. If you say somebody else, then she freaks out and you have a fake argument on the air and it's drama. People love that. And I've never understood how they don't. And they even the people who say, yeah, I know it's fake, but I like it. Okay. Then, and what I would always chalk it up to, okay, well, then you would not like our morning show then. Yeah. Because it's actually good and you don't know what's good and what's not. So you wouldn't like it. Keep listening to War of the Roses, people. or those that do those types of fake pranks. And also, we tell people we're in the industry. We know the service that you pay for that gives you those things, that puts you on the phone with the actors and all of that.
Yeah. Then you got to fight the temptation to either, beat them or join them. It's like, do you want to join them and start doing it, even though it's like against everything that because it works? That's tough.
Yeah.
You got to stick to your guns.
Mm-hmm. Because even if somebody believes that's real, I would argue that we can come up with something more entertaining than that is real. And if not, then we need to call it a day.
Wrap it up. Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
And then there's something that has blown people's minds because they've never heard of this. Riggins is one of them. I've never heard of it either. It's a story from a young lady, and she is not in her car in this video, believe it or not. She's at the other set that people want to be in. She's lying in her bed, holding the phone out while she's in the bed. And she's explaining what has happened to her.
Last night, I was introduced to a friend of a friend, and I was...
And bless her heart, she stopped up.
Yeah, she's a little congested.
Sounds like she's got, a little sinus issue or allergies going on.
Last night, I was introduced to a friend of a friend, and I was like, have we met before? You look familiar. And she goes, oh, that's just because I have cousin face. I was like, what the is cousin face? And she goes, everyone's always like, you look like my cousin, you look like my cousin's cousin. I look like everyone's cousin. And I was like, we look very similar. And she was like, you have cousin face too. I have cousin face.
Never. Have you ever heard of that?
No, because it's stupid.
Well, if that's that girl's real experience, she goes, I know everybody says they think they know me. And maybe she coined that term, I have cousin face. That's got to be a weird experience, though. When so many, if it happens more than once, you're like, what the hell is going on with me?
It just means that you have a generic look, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what that would do to you, you imagine?
Well, I guess I'm thinking of it from a different perspective because I don't have any cousins that just look generic.
I don't either.
They're
Well, no one in Louisiana looks generic.
Yeah, but it reminded me my daughter has what she calls resting worry face.
Oh, really? She always looks worried?
Yeah, because somebody, she used to work on at a golf course, and one of her coworkers, when she just first started working there, came up and said, "Are you okay? I was noticing over there, you seem like you're upset." And she goes, "Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just have resting worry face." Oh my God. Like she always looks like because she's got big eyes,
Yeah.
and she
always looks a little scared.
Yeah, like she's scared.
That's funny. I'd rather have resting worry face than the resting bee face, though.
Oh yeah,
that's just a scowl.
Mm-hmm.
But women wear it like a badge of honor.
Yeah, the old people call it a sourpuss.
Sourpuss. That's better.
Yeah,
Right.
Looks like a sourpuss.
Mm-hmm. I like cousin face.
But yeah, men can have resting bitch face too.
Yeah, for some reason I just never noticed it.
No, because men are in general, they appear to be happier than women in public.
Are they?
Yeah. In public, women only seem to be happy when they're with a bunch of other women or another woman. Men show themselves to be happy when they're with their woman. Because the difference is that men actually do like their women. You think there's not a big difference in my wife's demeanor whenever she's with her friends somewhere or when she's just with me?
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then if I'm off somewhere without her, my demeanor is just, I can't wait to get back to her.
Yeah.
You know?
I need to run home.
Yeah.
We need to be reunited.
I'm miserable when she's not right by my side. All right, we got to go. Thanks for listening and watching. There's not going to be a podcast, TJ's podcast tomorrow, because I've got to go to a big meeting with business leaders in the community.
Oh my gosh.
Gay community.
No, in the gay community. You kill it over there.
I know. So thanks for listening and watching and all that stuff. Love you. Bye.
Serving the world. It's TJ's podcast.